So welcome back, everyone, to the ISCA Formula E Championship preseason test day here in Italy at the Franciacorta International Circuit. As, like I mentioned earlier, we have a few cars here. We are about to take part in a 10-minute test race. 3 of them will be participating. We were supposed to have 4, but defending champion Philip Kraus is not going to participate in this test race due to an issue on the number 19 car. As we are getting ready here, it's Mertz, Valley, and Bellamy. Your grid here. Getting ready to go. 10 minutes, and halfway through, they have to pit, and it's lights out, and away we go, and off the line, Mertz gets swamped by Valley and by Bellamy. As the rallycross driver having issues in single-seaters, it's going to be Valley into turn 1, Bellamy in second. And on board, car number 25, now on board car number 5, as we wind through. Valley runs it wide in the 25, so he's going to give the spot up to Bellamy in car number 5, and now Mertz has to work on him. Into the chicane. You want to avoid those huge curbs, as throughout the earlier practice, everyone was hitting those curbs, and if you hit it hard enough, it'll launch you and break your suspension, which isn't exactly the preferred thing to do, as I'm tripping all over my words. Apologies there. As through the corner, and Bellamy running down the backstretch here into these final sequence, as Valley second, Mertz is in third, as on board the front, and now on the roll hoop of car number 81. As lap number 1 has completed. You don't think these cars would be too fast, but they are fast for being fully electric race cars. Bellamy's trying to pull away. Valley, it seems like, is holding up Mertz in car number 81. These two have never raced before, and now Valley ran it wide. Will Mertz take the spot? No. As he has to cut the chicane in car number 25, that will give the spot to Mertz. As one of the rules for this series, self-policing of the cutting. As unlike rallycross, as you've always seen here on ASN, there is no penalty box, as this is proper circuit racing, so you have to self-police yourself or be given a drive-through penalty, I believe the penalty is. As Bellamy trying to pull away, as it's a completely different discipline for Mertz here in car number 81. Still the same paint scheme as you saw in Valgenswaard. It's relatively the same concept, obviously applied to an open wheel car. Before he got into rallycross, actually, Mertz was in open wheel, but I don't think that foray ended very well, as obviously 4-time rallycross champion does not mean anything here in Formula E. As lap 3 begins, as this official test day isn't the only thing that is going on for this series. The schedule, I believe, is still being worked on, but we will have full coverage of every E-Prix here on ASN, along with NASA Rallycross, so stay tuned to ASN On Demand for more information. As this middle sector is tight and winding, you have the chicane there, then the slow hairpin. The track opens up as we'll go on board the front end of Bellamy's car. And let's go back to Mertz here, and you'll see the sheer speed of these electric cars as 115-16 as he tops out and starts braking for the hairpin, getting oh so close to Bellamy in car number 5, and sliding it is car number 81. Heavy braking for the first corner, and then into the second right-hander, and then the third right-hander, and then this is where the fun starts. As there's a left, as we'll go on board again. There's the left, the chicane, the left-right, which is so hard to get right, because then you have to have inch perfect there to get that apex. Otherwise, this corner will be missed. And then this corner opens up. As you see, the car gets loose. It gets light when you're in the middle of a gear shift, and it opens back up again. So the first two sectors are very, very open, and the middle infield sector here, very tricky. That corner is really deceiving. That final right-hander there into the final couple of hairpins. But that corner looks really open. As Mertz locks it up, will he take it to the pit lane? No, the pits are not open. I believe the pits will open next lap, as lap number 5 will be beginning halfway through, I believe, as it looks like a virtual safety car has been called due to Valley, who spun, but he's going to take it to the pit lane, which under normal circumstances would be illegal, but the test race, the rules have been relaxed. Safety car, virtual safety car has been lifted, and Bellamy and Mertz go back to full speed. It looks like Valley spun the car in car number 25, and they were going to let him catch back up, but he went to the pit lane. So the pits are now open, and I believe Mertz and Bellamy should be pitting. So let's see if Mertz will actually do a different strategy than Bellamy in car number 5. Bellamy's around! So that doesn't matter anymore. And Bellamy, like I mentioned a little earlier, that corner is really tricky to get back on the power. Mertz will take to the lead in car number 81. And now Bellamy has to play catch-up in car number 5. Valley's out of the pit lane. So the young American in car number 25 trying to play catch-up to the veterans. Into the pit lane goes car number 81. As he stops on his marks. And so will Bellamy for the Carolina team. Out of the pits is Mertz. Bellamy still in his pit stall, out of the pit stall. And where is Valley? Valley is exiting the second hairpin. You see Bellamy exiting the pit lane. Mertz is gone. I don't believe Valley will be able to put up a fight to Bellamy, as I believe we'll have about 3 laps to go now. No fight for any of the drivers. Race control says 2 laps to go for car number 81. As hitting his marks, and obviously these test races, because he was right over in the Netherlands a few days ago, and came over here to Italy. He ran 1 race in his Formula E career. I believe it was in Adelaide in Australia, and he is so used to racing rallycross, which at most is an 8-lap or a 12-lap race if you give or take that Irwindale race a few seasons ago. He was driving way over his head and crashed within a lap and a half. So this has been about a 7 or 8 lap race, so right around that, but races will be 30 minutes in length, and I think that's a good length for the newer drivers, the drivers that are used to shorter races like Mertz. I believe Bellamy ran last season, the whole entire season. So did Valley. Valley is still categorized really as a rookie driver, as I don't believe he's raced anywhere else aside from that. Bellamy, obviously the defending privateer champion in NASA Rallycross, I do believe, but he will not be making a return to that championship, as Running it wide is Mertz. You noticed Red Bull logos on his helmet. I don't believe that deal extends to his Rallycross team. I only believe it is here. And that was really odd to see. We thought there would never be Red Bull logos associated with him ever again after that fallout a few months ago. But as we take the white flag, as time has expired, unfortunately we have not been able to set up a time graphic. This race, you will probably have been confused most of the time as to what is going on. But the first race, we will get it sorted for you, and we will be able to have a nice broadcast. Is heading down the backstretch for the final time. Bellamy has gotten close, but I don't think he's going to get there, as Mertz will break for the penultimate hairpin, and into the final corner will the German come onto the front straightaway, and Mertz will be victorious in the ISCA test race here in Italy as he wins. Second spot will go to Bellamy. Third will be for Valley, and fourth, Philip Kraus, who had a car issue there. And right next to the camera, Mertz will get that electric motor going and doing some burnouts. As like I mentioned, ignore the graphics there. Our graphics department apparently did not decide to change the numbers. Car 81 Mertz, 5 for Bellamy, 25 for Valley, and 19 for Kraus, as that is the results. As this isn't it just yet, when we come back, we will have more practice laps, so stay tuned, folks.